participate. NEIP is here to support you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a better round of applause for Mr. Eric Ajay, Esquire. And he says that engage fully, learn intentionally, create jobs to change lives and transform Ghana. And I hope we are all going to do that, right? Right? Right. So moving on from him, let's take another remarks from the National Service Authority, representing the Director General. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Head of Corporate Affairs, AJ Akwaku-Sapong.
Cooperation and a shared vision for youth development. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the dawn of greater things to come. Through this partnership, we're not just entering into an agreement, we're laying a strong and enduring foundation to support innovation, entrepreneurship, and enterprise development amongst our young people. Under the new National Service Authority, we see beyond the daily deployment of personnel. We see a reservoir of untapped potential, a generation waiting for the right spark. This collaboration offers just that, a unique and powerful opportunity to equip our service personnel not only with practical, hands-on skills, but also with the entrepreneurial mindset required to build decent, sustainable, and dignified businesses. We wish to assure all stakeholders that the National Service Authority is willing and very eager to support this initiative to ensure its continued success. We are committed to working closely with our partners to develop meaningful impact. The SEED program is more than just an initiative. It's a commitment to nurturing innovation, fostering entrepreneurship, and ensuring that our young people are well positioned to thrive in an ever-developing global economy. Let us continue to strengthen this partnership, deepen interagency collaboration, and remain committed to empowering the next generation of entrepreneurs. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, I thank you for your attention on behalf of my Director General, Ruth Della Sedo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, AJ Akwaku-Sapong, Director of Corporate Affairs for the National Service Authority. Let's do it one more time for her. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Gov't TV as well as UTV, so you can tell your friends who are not here with us today that they can catch this program live on Gov't TV and UTV. Before I invite the next speaker, let me quickly acknowledge the presence of some very important personalities who have joined us today, starting with the Office of the Vice President. We're joined here this morning by the Honorable Alex Segbefia. He's the Chief of Staff at the Office of the Vice President. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you for coming, Daddy. We've also been joined, ladies and gentlemen, by the Senior Political Advisor, Office of the Vice President, the Honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. Let's give him a round of applause as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also joined by Professor Theresa Enin, Special Aide to the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. We also have Professor Sharif Khalid, Policy Advisor on Economics at the Office of the Vice President. We've also been joined by Ms. Mansa Emisa Ewua, Policy Advisor on Finance, also at the Office of the Vice President. We also have Dr. Miriam Idrisu, Policy Advisor on Social Sector, Office of the Vice President. We have Musa Abdullah, Esquire, Policy Advisor to the Vice President. And we have Dr. Hamza Bukari Zakaria, also Policy Advisor on Economics, Office of the Vice President. We also have with us the Minister for Youth Empowerment and Development, the Honorable George Opare Ado. Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gents. He was a perfect choice for the position. I mean, His Excellency didn't make a mistake. He made the right choice. Let's give him another round of applause. At this juncture, I'd like to invite my very good friend and brother, who is a regular on the Gov't TV Breakfast Cafe, very passionate our student affairs, always actively fighting for the rights of students. Mr. Rashid Ibrahim Esquire, he's the president of the National Union of Ghana Students. Let's give him a round of applause. Mr. President.
Good morning, distinguished speakers and invited guests. The Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Her Excellency Professor Jenano Pokwajiman, Honorable Minister of Education, ably represented by our former NUCS President, Professor George Odru, and Technical Advisor to the Ministry, Honorable Minister for Youth Development, Honorable George Opariado Hughes Pablo, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, Honorable Eric J. Esquire, leadership of the National Union of Ghana Students, distinguished guests, partners, student leaders, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we gather to launch a truly transformative initiative, the Students' Entrepreneurship and Enterprise Program, SEED. This is not just another program. It is a bold statement of intent. It is a declaration that the future of Ghana will not be built by chance, but by deliberate investment in the ideas, creativity, and resilience of young people. Today, we are planting a seed, one that will grow into innovation, self-reliance, and sustainable economic empowerment for students across this country. Let me begin by recognizing a man whose leadership has breathed a renewed energy and vision into youth entrepreneurship in Ghana, Honorable Eric J. Esquire, the Chief Executive Officer of NEIP. Your commitment to empowering young people is not only commendable, it is inspiring. Under your leadership, NEP has become more than an institution. It has become a beacon of hope for thousands of young Ghanaians who dare to dream. And I am a classical example. Your passion, your accessibility, and your relentless drive to create opportunities for the youth are clearly evident in initiatives like SEED. Ghana is grateful, and we celebrate you today. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow students, SEED comes at a time when the need for youth-driven enterprise has never been more urgent. Across our universities and communities, we have brilliant minds, innovators across our universities. We have brilliant minds, innovators, creators, problem solvers, yet many lack the support, mentorship, and capital needed to transform their ideas into viable businesses. SEED seeks to bridge this gap. It is designed to equip students not only with entrepreneurial skills, but also with the resources and networks necessary to build sustainable enterprises. It recognizes that the classroom alone is not enough. We must connect theory with practice, ideas with funding, and ambition with opportunity. To the students here today, let me say this: the future is not something you wait for it. It is something you build. SEED is your platform. Use it, maximize it, challenge yourself to think beyond employment and begin to create employment. However, for this vision to be fully realized, sustained investment is key. At this point, I respectfully wish to make a passionate appeal to the Honorable Minister for Finance, Honorable Kesel Dr. Atoforsen. The impact of NEP is visible. The potential of SEED is undeniable. What is needed now is scale. We urge you to consider increasing budgetary allocation to NEIP so that this program can reach more students, support more startups, and create more jobs. Investing in SEED is not an expense. It is a strategic investment in Ghana's economic future. Every cedi allocated today will yield dividends in innovation, productivity, and national development tomorrow. Let us not limit the dreams of our young people due to limited resources. Let us empower them to build businesses that will in turn build Ghana. In conclusion, today marks the beginning of something great. The seed has been planted with the right support, nurturing, and commitment. It will grow into a forest of opportunities for generations to come. Once again, I commend Honorable Eric J., the Minister for Youth Development, Honorable George Parado, Hughes Pablo, for their outstanding leadership, and I applaud all partners who have made this initiative possible. May seed flourish, may our youth rise, and may Ghana prosper. Thank you.
May seed flourish, may our youth rise, and may Ghana flourish. A round of applause for Rashid Ibrahim Esquire once again. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, let's take time to acknowledge the presence of some amazing dignitaries in our midst here. We have in our midst Professor Emmanuel Selassie Asamoah, Pro-Vice Chancellor, UPSA. Sir, if you're here, let's see you. Thank you very much. Oh, please be clapping. Also, we have Mrs. Lorraine Jan, Registrar, UPSA. Let's see you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Dr. Munkaila Abdullah, HOD, Business Administration, UPSA. Thank you so much, Doc. We also have in our midst Dr. Mrs. Juliana Akushika Ando, Senior Lecturer and Facility Research Officer for Facility of Management Studies, UPSA. Let's see you, ma'am. Thank you. We also have in our midst Dr. Esther Atiobe, Senior Lecturer, UPSA. Thank you so much. Also in our midst, we have Dr. Palgrave Wache Dankwa. He's a lecturer here at UPSA. Our very own Reverend Father Joseph Sabla, he just took his leave. And yes, the President of the National Union of Ghana Students, once again, Rashid Ibrahim Esquire. Round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Also in our midst, we have Susie Badegbe, entrepreneur in Artisan Space, Kwanzi, Africa. Let's see you, ma'am, if you are here. Thank you very much. Also in our midst, we have Yaira Macaulay, Chairperson, Nooks Entrepreneurship Committee. Let's see you, Yaira, thank you. Also in our midst is Thomas, I beg your pardon, Titus Owusudakon, Nooks Secretary, Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Titus, let's see you. Right. Also in our midst is Godfrey Odamte Soa. If you're in our midst, let's see you. Thank you very much. And Karim missed some introductions to. We have in our midst from the Office of the Vice President, Ms. Amma Pratt. She is the Press Secretary at the Office of the Vice President. Let's acknowledge her presence. And also Papa Nyame Sam, he is the aide to the Vice President. Papa, you are welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And I see the CEO of the National Youth Authority, Mr. Osman Ayaga Esquire. Oh, a better round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. And now we hear a voice representing the voice and experience of student entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the lecturing Ms. Josephine Kisiwa Chimisi.
Thank you very much for giving me such a great opportunity. I do appreciate. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyemang, Honorable Ministers of State, distinguished guests, and with deep respect to Lawyer Eric Ejay, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Your Excellency, I stand here to prove that the hardest part of entrepreneurship is not just about building the dream. It is surviving long enough to see it grow. I am Josephine Kisiwa Chumesi, a proud student of SDA College of Education, Agona Ashanti, in Sesha South Municipality. Before I proceed, I want us to turn around just for a moment. The people we just looked at are not ordinary students. They are dreamers, builders, and fighters, carrying ideas in their minds and silent struggles in their hearts. Some are trying to build something with a little support, little guidance, and sometimes a very little hope. I know this feeling because I live it every day. Your Excellency, I stand here not just as a student, but as a raisin and bridal souvenir artist. I create pieces for love stories, weddings, memories, and moments people want to keep forever. But behind every piece I create, there is something you don't see. The materials I used are very expensive, and there are days I had the ideas, the customers, and the skills, but I simply don't have the materials. And that is the most painful place to be, having the ability, but lacking the skills. There was a time I invested every CD I had into my business, believing it was my breakthrough. So I worked, I created, and I waited, but the sales didn't come. And just like that, I had in front of me beautiful products, but nothing in my pocket. And that moment breaks you quietly, because whilst people admire your work, you are busy calculating your losses. And yet, I still have lectures to attend, assignments to submit, and exams to prepare for. Imagine leaving a stressful class only to enter another kind of stress, your business. Imagine choosing between studies for a test or responding to a customer who might never return to you if you delay. Imagine trying to succeed in 2 full-time responsibilities, and after all, your profit is very small. What I earn awfully goes back to my business. Sometimes it is not enough to sustain me as a student, but I didn't quit because this is not just a business. This is survival, dignity, and my refusal to let limitation be my circumstances. Your Excellency, this is why we need seed. We do not just need motivation, we need support. We need mentorship that will help us to avoid costly mistakes. We need opportunities that will turn results into actions. And this is why I must sincerely acknowledge lawyer Erica J. Sir, your vision is not ordinary. Through seed, you are not just supporting businesses, you are restoring hope. You are seeing potentials where others see struggles. You are creating a platform where students like us can breathe, can grow, and can believe again. Your work is not just impactful, it is transformational. Your Excellency, if I get the right support, this business will not just grow, it will triple. Give us a platform and we will reach more people. Give us access to materials, and we will produce more. Give us guidance and counsel, and we will build something sustainable. And when that happens, I will not grow alone. Standing before you today, I speak not only for myself. There are many of us talented, determined, and ready, but limited by what we do not have. I stand here today to prove that resilience can keep a business alive, but resilience alone cannot build a nation. Your Excellency, meet us halfway, and we will build the rest, because supporting student entrepreneurs is not just about business, it is about unlocking Ghana's future by building the Ghana we want together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josephine Kisiwa Chumesi. Seed exists, of course, because of stories like yours. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, let me quickly introduce Professor George Champong from the University of Ghana Business School. A round of applause for Prof.
Good morning. I think, Kisiwa, you've taken the wind out of my sail. And before I start, I just want to promise you that from all the university hubs, we are ready to work with NEIP to support you to achieve your aims. I think the protocol has been set, but if you are a junior professor and you have a senior professor who is a vice president, you have to do the needful. And if you also have a professor who is a vice chancellor in the equivalent rank with your own CEO, then you also have to do the needful. So I would want to repeat some of the protocols. So Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Minister of Youth Empowerment and Development, CEO and leadership of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, distinguished guests, partners, colleagues, students, good morning. I stand here today to represent the Think Network, which is the tertiary hubs for innovation and knowledge. For us, it is a privilege to stand here on behalf of the Think Network to express our strong and unequivocal solidarity with the launch of the SEED program. We commend the government of Ghana and NEIP for this timely and strategic intervention. The SEED program reflects something that matters deeply to us: the recognition that Ghana's economic future will not be built by job seekers alone, but by creators as well. Young people equipped with the skills, the support, and the systems to build enterprises that last. At the Think Network, we are a coalition of innovation and incubation hubs embedded across higher educational institutions, from Accra to Boko, from Ho to Takrady. And Vice Chancellor of UPSA, I'm proud to say that your institution is a member of the Think Network. Every day, our hubs engage with students who are developing ideas, testing solutions in labs, and searching for a pathway into enterprise. And what we consistently find is not a shortage of ideas. What we find is a gap in structured support, in coordinated mentorship, and in ecosystem alignment. That is the gap SEED was designed to close. And here I want to thank Eric and his team for meeting us and co-creating this solution. So Eric and your team, thanks again. Tertiary hubs like ours serve as the interface between potential and practice. We translate ideas into viable ventures through structured programs, mentorship, and access to networks. Critically, we enable coherence, ensuring that entrepreneurship support is not Critically, we enable coherence, ensuring that entrepreneurship support is not fragmented, institution by institution, but delivered at scale and with purpose. Our experience has taught us one simple but powerful truth: entrepreneurship outcomes are shaped not just by individual talent, but by the strength of the ecosystem that surrounds the entrepreneur. Through our work on national programs like the Ejumera, and work with private sector actors like the AMG Ghana, and development partners such as the MasterCard Foundation and British Council. And here I want us to thank Godfred and Ni Dodu for their support that they've been offering the Think Network so far. Thank you very much to you. The Think Network has supported over 25,000 young entrepreneurs across multiple regions. But beyond the numbers, we have witnessed real transformation. Students moving from unclear ideas to structured business models, from uncertainty to investment readiness, from aspiration to execution. These are not small shifts. They are evidence that when young people are given the right architecture of support, they respond with innovation, discipline, and ambition. And this is why we fully align with the SEED program. Its focus on skills development, mentorship, and access to funding directly addresses the core constraints within the student entrepreneurship ecosystem. And its position of higher education institutions as active drivers of enterprise development is not just timely, it is the right approach. Most often than not, we hear students say they've been overtrained but underfunded. But this program is coming to solve this program. The Think Network stands ready to partner in making this vision a reality. Our commitment is clear: to ensure that programs like SEED do not end at this launch, but translate into sustainable businesses, quality jobs, and resilient local economies. To the students present, and today now I was trying to get you to be active, but I guess most of you are not in the shutter movement. But those of us in the shutter movement, we are coming to take advantage of the SEED program like Kakai. So students, this is your moment. Engage fully, commit to the process, and build with discipline. Remember, entrepreneurship is not an event. It is a journey, as Kisiwa has rightfully said, one that demands resilience, learning, and consistent execution. The systems of support, the systems are being strengthened by NEIP day by day, program by program. What is left is for us to act. In closing, we at the Think look forward to measuring the success of SEED, not only in the number of businesses it produces, but in the quality, sustainability, and contribution of these businesses to Ghana's economic transformation. The NUC's president rightly said that the finance minister should provide additional support. But we must prove that for every enterprise we create, we also contribute to the tax bracket, and then we can make a strong case for why he should provide that funding to us. The Think Network remains fully committed to working with NEIP and all partners to ensure that this program delivers the system-level impact Ghana's young entrepreneurs deserve. Thank you very much, and heartfelt congratulations to us all on this important launch. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor George Echampong from the University of Ghana. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. We would want to surely acknowledge the presence of Professor Obi Beko Damwa from the University of Ghana Business School. Prof, let's see you. Right, you're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a brief look at a documentary highlighting the vision, impact, and opportunities within the SEED program. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
What if the next big business in Ghana is not in a boardroom but in a lecture hall? What if the ideas that will shape our future are already alive, sitting quietly in our classrooms, our hostels and campus spaces waiting for just the right support to grow? Across Ghana, thousands of young people carry bold dreams. Dreams of building something of their own. Dreams of creating jobs, changing lives and making an impact. Yet for many, the journey from idea to enterprise is not easy. Limited access to funding, little guidance, and sometimes not knowing where to even begin.
My name is Sufian Masiata. I'm a student entrepreneur and I am a first-level MPhil student in political science. I'm a student entrepreneur that deals in textiles, that is materials and uniforms. I started this business when I was doing my undergrad. I actually realized that looking at basic schools and SHS, they do wear uniforms, and most of these people on campus have siblings that demand some of these uniforms, of which they are taking care of them. But my problem is sometimes my demand becomes larger where I do not have the capacity to cater for all my customers. So I have to take a bet the number I can control. So I will be very happy to get assistance from the SEED project to be able to serve all my customers at a particular time.
My name is Khadija Rafiu, a level 300 student of Unimac IJ and a public relations student. I am also an entrepreneur, and then I deal in corporate work for both men and women. We all know that ideas alone are not enough. We need funding, support, and opportunities. That's why we are calling on SEED to help us build a meaningful life for ourselves and also establish ourselves so that after school we wouldn't be stranded and then be struggling to find jobs, but we would rather continue what we were doing.
My name is Ache Emmanuel Kwesi, a level 300 student of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, in the IT department. I am a student entrepreneur and a student as well. The name of my business is Dream Big Furnitures. We deal in furniture works like bed frames, wardrobes, shoe racks, and other stuff. Doing these two simultaneously is not an easy task because sometimes I'll be in class and then clients will be texting me that they need wardrobes, they need bed frames, and then I'll be in class hoping that the lecture would end so that I can text clients for money. So I would love and appreciate if SEED will be able to fund and support me to grow my business even though I'm in school, because I wish to expand it so that if I complete school, I already have a business that I can hope on, and also I can also enter the corporate world as well.
I'm Nanaya Amoyabwa, a student entrepreneur, a level 200 business admin student of the University of Professional Studies, Accra. I deal in women clothing, and I am the founder of Stitch by Naya. I make ready-to-wear quality and neat finishing clothes for students and also corporate workers as well. I bead clothes as well. I'm seeking to be funded because I see this job as a great opportunity to also educate my fellow colleagues on making clothing. So I see this as an opportunity to be funded and also be able to expand my business so my fellow colleagues can learn a skill to support their daily work on campus.
My name is Franklin Efi. I'm a final year student of the University of Ghana studying BA in Education. I also indulge in various businesses. My business is named Focus Gallery, and in that business we have a variety of stuff. The main aspect I would like to focus on is the pastry and the printing and designing aspect, where I would like a funding from SEED to help me improve those aspects of my business, to get machinery to boost my work, and also to create job avenues for fellow students on campuses.
I am Ache Selina, a level 200 business admin student. I am a student entrepreneur. I fix nails, I do wig making, revamping, I braid, and I'm currently learning how to do makeup. So in school, my target audience is the ladies because in uni, most of the ladies fix their nails to look good. In recent times, people complete university and still struggle about work. But with this work I have, I can manage my own business. I can create my own business. I can employ people, build big businesses, and after school, be working so I don't rely on the government. So this handiwork is really important because I can feed myself after school without sitting down waiting for the government for employment. I'm hereby seeking for support to expand this business because I have knowledge in wig making, revamping, braiding, but right now I'm currently focusing on the nails because that's what my small amount of money could afford.
I am Nana Edu Chadia Christabel Naya, a level 200 student of University of Professional Studies, Accra, offering business administration, and the founder of Zobo Delight. I am passionate about promoting local fruit juice and healthy drinking options in Ghana. I was inspired to start this local fruit juice business because I believe that fruits like mango, pineapple, passion fruit, and etc. are not just delicious, but they come with a pack of nutrients. I want to share this tasty and healthy drinking style with my community and showcase the best of Ghana food. I need this support to scale up production, enrich more local markets, creating jobs, and showcasing the best of Ghana food.
I am Watili Yambafua, a final year business administration student at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, and I am into tomato farming. I started tomato farming in the year 2024, and in my first year, I was doing 1 acre and currently doing 2 acres. I believe with support from seed, I can move from 2 acres to 5 and 8 acres in the near future. With access to modern technology, I believe even in the dry season, I can irrigate the crops to help it grow faster and also harvest it.
Now, that story is changing. The National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEIP, saw that door and decided to build it. It is here to equip, support, and guide. The Ejumawura Students Entrepreneurship and Enterprise Development Program, known as SEED, is opening new doors for students and young graduates across the country.
This initiative is coming at this particular point in time to salvage the unemployment challenges in our economy. We believe that as an agency in charge of developing the talent in our youth, we have to bring something on board to also help. So we are training not less than 10,000 students across the country and give funding to those interested in doing business. So NEIP will help in registering your businesses for you. We also help you in getting licenses from Ghana Standard Authority, Food and Drug Authority. We are going to serve as a mediator for the students to be able to acquire whatever they want to be in the business. And this is a promise. We will honor our promise as we did in the Ejumawura program.
So at UPSA, we are so excited to be associated with the SEED program. We have over 33,000 students on campus. And it means that we have over 33,000 ideas. How do we transform these ideas into impact? So the SEED program will introduce our students to becoming job creators. It will also give them the opportunity to pitch their business ideas. After pitching these ideas, the innovative ideas will be funded, thereby creating several jobs for our university students.
We feel this initiative is timely and very relevant for our students, particularly because all level 400s in the IT department develop apps. Okay, some web apps, some mobile apps. We are encouraging our students to take advantage of this opportunity to go out there and pitch their ideas to attract funding, because some of them have very relevant apps that are going to change certain sectors.
Hi everyone, I'm Promise, the final year student in UPSA. So we developed a web app that is used to automate financial data analysis and detect anomalies for small businesses and specifically small enterprises. So we believe that if the government of Ghana is supposed to help us develop this project or expand it to businesses that are still using the traditional way of accounting, it would improve and bridge the gap between technology and then our formal traditional practice.
SEED, UPSA is ready for you. All the tertiary institutions are ready for you.
Ghana's next generation of job creators is already here. Be your own boss. The future of Ghana is being built by its youth. And with SEED, that future starts today.
I thought you were going to do it better. Looking at all these young people in the documentary, I can only say that SEED has come as a savior to help our young entrepreneurs. You all agree with me on that? Right, Dr. Akushika, I really liked what you did. Anyways, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, and to take some more remarks on behalf of the Minister of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Professor George K.T. Odro, Technical Advisor to the Minister. A round of applause for him.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyemang, with your permission, I would want to stand on all protocols earlier established. It is a distinct honor to stand before you today to witness the historic launch of the Student Entrepreneurship and Enterprise Development Program, SEED. I express this honor on behalf of the Honorable Minister for Education, Lawyer Haruna Idrisu, who conveys his profound appreciation to the organizers of the event. Permit me to first pay tribute to Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Upuku-Agyeman, whose exemplary leadership continues to inspire our youth and set a standard for excellence and service, particularly for females in leadership practice. Education has always been the cornerstone of Ghana's development. Yet, our rapidly changing world demands more than what happens in our traditional classroom. To build a prosperous and resilient nation, we must equip our youth not only with academic knowledge, but with practical skills, innovative thinking, and the confidence to transform ideas into action. The Ministry of Education recognizes this urgent need and is resolutely committed to laying a robust foundation for entrepreneurship, particularly through the technical and vocational education and training (TVET) sector. In today's interconnected global economy, entrepreneurship education is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It fosters critical thinking, creativity, resilience, and adaptability. It empowers students to recognize and seize opportunities, solve complex challenges, and create sustainable businesses that generate jobs and drive economic growth. A nation that nurtures entrepreneurial mindsets can thrive amid uncertainty, adapt to changing markets, and compete successfully on the world stage. It is with this vision that the Ministry of Education has made entrepreneurial skills development a critical element in its educational research agenda. In this light, the Ministry finds the SEED program very relevant to strategies for bridging the gap between theory and practice. By targeting students across the entire tertiary ecosystem, including public and private universities, technical universities, vocational institutions, colleges of education, and nursing and midwifery training colleges, the SEED initiative ensures that entrepreneurial training is accessible to all, regardless of background or discipline. A key strength of the SEED program lies in its holistic approach. Through hands-on training, mentorship, business incubation, and access to funding, students are empowered to take their innovative ideas from concept to reality. The program also ensures that young women and persons with disabilities are not left behind, reflecting the Ministry of Education's unwavering commitment to equity and inclusion in the pursuit of Ghana's entrepreneurial future. Crucially, the SEED program aligns educational opportunities with sectors that hold the greatest potential for economic impact, such as agribusiness, technology, manufacturing, and the creative industries. This alignment guarantees that our students are not only learning relevant theory, but are also acquiring practical, market-ready skills that can be applied to real-world challenges. In doing so, we are cultivating a generation of graduates who are both academically competent and business ready. To maximize the benefits of entrepreneurship, the Ministry of Education continues to work closely with the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment and commit itself to partnering civil society organizations such as the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEP, to design a program that is comprehensive and inclusive to ensure that every student, regardless of their institution or field of study, has access to entrepreneurial opportunities and support. As a ministry, we believe that entrepreneurial orientation of the youth at the secondary and tertiary levels become more meaningful to the youth if we get it right at the foundational level. If children are exposed to entrepreneurial indicators such as creativity, critical thinking, resilience, etc., at the foundational stages of their education, they are more likely to embrace entrepreneurship at the higher levels of education. In this light, the ministry, through the National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, NACA, is almost through with a review of the basic school level curriculum, with emphasis on mathematics literacy, language literacy, science and technology literacy, and a value-driven cultural literacy characterized by language, social, emotional, creativity, and critical thinking dimensions of personality development. We also recognize that practical experience is invaluable. Hence, the ministry commits itself to creating enabling partnership environment for agencies of the ministry, such as the Ghana Education Service, TVET, and universities, colleges, and schools to work closely with NEP to prepare students for sustained engagement in real business ventures through guidance from experienced mentors. Partnering educational institutions in hands-on entrepreneurial skill development is essential for nurturing the next generation of entrepreneurs who can create decent, sustainable jobs and contribute to our country's socio-economic development. The ministry's commitment to the success of the SEED program is unwavering. Through the relevant agencies, the ministry will provide the necessary policy support and guidance to ensure its effective implementation. Our goal is clear: to produce graduates who are not only well-educated, but also entrepreneurial, self-reliant, and able to create opportunities for themselves and others. I urge all students to embrace this opportunity and make the most of the training, mentorship, and resources available in your innovation through the SEED program. Be bold in your innovation, creative in your problem solving, and determined in your pursuit of solutions that will positively impact your communities and the nation at large. Once again, I commend the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, NEP, and all partners whose vision and dedication have brought this transformative initiative to fruition. Your collaborative efforts are empowering our students and strengthening the very fabric of our nation. Together, through education and innovation, we are building a future where every young Ghanaian has the tools, support, and confidence to succeed as an entrepreneur. The foundation we lay today will shape the destiny of our country for generations to come. Thank you, and may God bless you in this effort.
Thank you very much, Professor George K.T. Ojo. Another round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. We'll move on to take some more speeches, and this is coming from a man whose laps seed, I can say, sits on to. Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite to the lecturing the Honorable Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, Honorable George Opariado, Esquire.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajuman, Senior Vice Presidential Advisor, Honorable Dr. Samuel Ofusu-Ampofo, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Professional Studies, Professor John Mauto, and members of your distinguished faculty, the Chief of Staff, Office of the Vice President, Honorable Alex Igbefia, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, my brother Eric Ejay, the Board Chair and members of the Board of NEIP, Professor George Odro, representing the Minister of Education, heads of government agencies who are here, the President of NUCS and your executive body, development partners, private sector leaders who have graced today's occasion, student leaders from our various SRCs who are here to support the launch of SEED, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning once again. It is both an honor and privilege to join you today at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, for the official launch of the Student Entrepreneurship and Enterprise Development Program, which has an acronym as SEED. Today is not just about launching a program. Today is about planting a future for our students and alumni of our various students' bodies. Your Excellency, we are deeply grateful for your presence and your unwavering commitment to youth development and education in Ghana. Your leadership continues to inspire a generation to aim higher and achieve more. And we don't take your commitment to youth development for granted. When Eric spoke, he made reference to the number of times we've called upon you, sometimes at very short notice. There are mornings I call you and you say, okay, I'll come. We don't take it for granted. It shows how committed you are to youth development. Distinguished ladies, I know a lot have been said about why we are here, but I'll reiterate why today is extremely important. SEED is a direct offspring of Ejumera, and Ejumera is His Excellency's flagship program to support young entrepreneurs. Ejumera is one of those programs that has been run non-partisan, and I've always insisted that for us to succeed as a country, we need to take away partisan politics from some key government initiatives. Just last week, I saw a newspaper publication that suggested that the Ejumera grants that we are giving out is political. When we inaugurated the grants committee in my office, there was no politician on the grants committee. It had members from academia, private sector, and our various banks to lead it. And I remember my instructions to the CEO and his deputy that stay off the grants committee. Let's give the monies to the businesses that can scale, because poverty doesn't know any political color. And when opportunities and jobs are created, it goes a long way to serve the good people of this country. And I believe strongly SEED will follow in that same format and direction. This program, SEED, which we are here to launch, like I said, is under the Ejumera initiative, and it is being led and implemented by the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. is designed to ensure that no workable student idea dies at the ideation or concept stage. Too many young people graduate with knowledge, but without a pathway. Too many brilliant ideas are still in notebooks, never becoming businesses. And when Professor Mauto spoke, he emphasized that, and that UPSA have decided to change that narrative. When His Excellency appointed me as the Minister for Youth Development, one of the tours we embarked on was to visit the various university hubs. I got the opportunity of interacting with the University of Ghana hub. Immediately I left, I called the NEIP CEO and I told him, let's start going to the schools. A partnership between NEIP and our university hubs will bring about that transformation His Excellency seeks. And I want to report to Your Excellency, the Vice President, that Eric and his team has done the needful. And so, as part of the Jumera program, almost all our tertiary institutions that have hubs are parts of the program and are doing amazingly well. Through SEED, we are introducing a structured end-to-end ecosystem that will equip students with practical, real-world entrepreneurship skills, provide mentorship from industry leaders, alumni, and innovation hubs, support business registration, financial inclusion and compliance, connect young entrepreneurs to funding and investment opportunities, and most importantly, guide them from idea, incubation, acceleration, and sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not theory. This is action. Already under the Jumera program, over 10,000 young people have undergone structured training. 124 innovation hubs across the country are actively supporting youth enterprise. Thousands of young people are transitioning from job seekers to job creators. And about a month ago, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama himself in Sunyani presented the first grant of 100,000 Ghana cedis to a Ghanaian business person. And I know that a lot of young people who shared the ideas pitched at the various grants committee meetings have started receiving their funding through their bank accounts. And SEED is going to follow a similar format. SEED builds on this momentum from a Jumera, but takes it directly into our tertiary institutions where innovation is born. A Jumera is broad, every Ghanaian, irrespective of where you find yourself, but SEED is purposely targeted at students. But beyond the numbers, this program is about changing mindsets. One of the biggest problems we have as a country is mindsets. And a recent survey by the Ministry for Youth Development and Empowerment gave us some scary statistics. When the researchers were done, one of the things we found out was that the average tertiary student who does his national service spends between 2 years to 10 years before finding a job. Those who do the 2 years are those who do their national service with the private sector. But those who go through the public sector spend a minimum of 5 years before they find decent jobs. We know that the public space is choked. And so how can we bring about the transformation? How can we bring about the opportunities that our young people so much desire? And that is why we are saying SEED is not like any other program, but it has to do with mindsets, that you can become that employer instead of the one to be employed. But beyond the numbers, like I said, we need to change our mindset. Who will employ me must not become the question. What problem can I solve should be what should indulge the minds of our graduates. Where can I find work should not be an alternative. Rather, how many people can I employ should be the conversation after today's program. SEED will deliberately focus on high growth sectors. Agribusiness. We know that every dollar invested in agriculture has a $14 in returns. Digital innovation, and let's commend UPSA for what they are doing with their digital space, especially their ICT students. Creative industries, which has so much potential, yet underdeveloped. And it's one of the areas the Youth Ministry, together with the Ministry of Tourism, is seeking collaboration and support so that we're able to enhance it. The green economy is another area that we believe strongly Ghana should be looking into because of the climate fund that is available and how we can tap into it, and emerging technologies. Ensuring that our young people are not just taking part in the economy, but leading its transformation. Your Excellency, one of the strongest pillars of this program is inclusion. We are making deliberate efforts that young women entrepreneurs are empowered. And I believe the video you saw, a lot of the people who spoke were women. And I also want to tell you that it's only at the Youth Ministry that under our agencies, you will find a lot of female CEOs, either as CEOs or deputy CEOs. We believe that when you empower a young woman, it brings about the transformation we seek. We are also looking at people with disability. And as part of our Ejumera program and the conditions that His Excellency set out for us, people living with disability are given a special quota. Women are also supposed to be more than 50% of all the programs we are running at the ministry. And we don't want to leave any young Ghanaian with potential behind. So irrespective of where you come from, which region you find yourself in, once you belong to a tertiary institution or you are exiting, that is why the National Service Authority is in collaboration with NIP on this program, so that everybody is given that opportunity. Implementation will be collaborative and results-driven. Government will provide policy